Welcome to Dig Deeper. I'm so honored to have you here. One of the reasons I created Dig Deeper, pretty much one of the main reasons, is to develop a deeper sense of community. Feels like right now it's more important than ever to have other people that see us and understand what we're experiencing. I've had a lot of clients over the years who tend to not know anybody else who's on the healing journey, which can exacerbate the feelings of being alone and feeling like there's something off or wrong with us. So Dig Deeper is a place where you can connect to other people on the healing journey, and also, most importantly, a place for you to dig deeper on your healing journey. The program used to be more self-study focused, and I developed all the content and then we'll put it out there for you to engage with. And this year I've changed it quite a bit where there's a community element and we're doing more live virtual work together. So all of that basically to help us have more opportunities to come together and heal together. So I want to talk a little bit about exchange and why I decided to price Dig Deeper the way that I did. I spend a lot of time thinking about the ways I want to run my business, and if you've been with me for a while, you probably noticed that I changed things up quite a bit. So I'm always learning and growing and then honoring my soul and what wants to come through me and doing my very best to honor and acknowledge the different positions that people are in. When I'm speaking about exchange, I'm essentially speaking about reciprocity. When I give you something, you receive it, and you give me something in return that I receive. Everyone benefits. Exchange comes in a number of forms, but obviously the way that we exchange predominantly in this society is with money. So I want to encourage you to begin to consider, if you haven't already, the way you work with exchange. In our society, we are taught that when you give somebody money for something, you own what's given back to you. You own that good or that service. You give me money, and then now what I'm giving you is yours. You have ownership over it. But this is an offering. I'm gifting you what I've gained from my own healing journey, and you can receive it, but you don't own it. So in terms of working with, say, a workshop of mine, I feel like part of this thing about ownership that's happened is that we want to be able to come back to it. So we want to have it for safekeeping just in case there's something else that we can learn and gain from it. And I'm not discounting by any means the benefit that can happen when we work with something over and over and over again, especially something like a breathwork workshop, a breathwork meditation. But I feel like one of the things that we end up missing out on is receiving in the moment, because we have this thing for safekeeping at some point to refer back to. If you're a note taker, you might resonate with this. So how many times have you taken notes when you haven't ever looked back on them? And some of you may. Some of you may look back on notes. I've done the same thing myself, but oftentimes I don't. And so it's this deeper trust that something is happening in the moment if we allow ourselves to be present to it. If you're doing a breathwork meditation or you're showing up for a breathwork workshop, allowing in that moment yourself to be transformed, yourself to receive that gift. These offerings, if you allow them, can transform you in the moment. Be present and receptive to what's being offered to you in the moment. And again, this doesn't mean that you can't work with meditations over and over again, but it means that each time you do, you'll be being transformed. When we honor what we're receiving, it begins to inform the way we value it. And that's really what I'd like you to consider as you move through the financial system that we're a part of. We can create new ways of engaging with each other, even when it comes to money. So unfortunately, the system that we currently live in uplifts the few over the many and makes it incredibly difficult, if not nearly impossible, for everyone to live well. We are part of this system, whether we like it or not, and part of the work of dismantling these systems, I believe, is to learn to take really good care of ourselves and really good care of one another. So for that reason, I've labeled the financial tiers of this program taking care of each other, taking care of me, being held, and then there is also a free option. The free option includes my free guided breathwork meditation, as well as some other videos, and there will be some more content supportive for those of you embarking on your breathwork journey or committed to your breathwork journey that will be updated over time. And that's underneath the breathwork tab in community. Dig Deeper is a paid membership program, and there are 3 tiers: taking care of each other, taking care of me, and being held. And these names are simply the names for the financial amount you're exchanging for the offering I'm providing. Every single thing in Dig Deeper is accessible to all members, no matter what tier you sign up for. And I just want to make a little note: if you choose being held, it's that you're choosing to be held financially. If you need to be held emotionally, but you have the resources to take care of one another, essentially pay $33 a month, please choose taking care of one another. Everyone in the program will be being held emotionally, regardless of the tier that's chosen. This is specifically for the financial exchange. If you do choose taking care of each other as your financial tier, you are helping me support those who are being held. If you choose taking care of me, you are paying for what I valued the offering at. And I want to be really clear that this is not the actual value of the offering, which you will start to recognize the more you work with exchange and gratitude. The value is personal, and it will increase the more you learn how to receive. The price that I have positioned, the tier taking care of me, is simply what I'm asking for you to pay for yourself. If you choose being held, you're being held by those who can support you at this time. Please keep in mind, this is why I'm educating about this, these tiers are not available for you to choose based off of what you think the program is worth. When you're making your decision, I encourage you to consider 4 things. So the first, what's your social location? So meaning, what's your privilege and proximity to power and access to resources? 2, very simply, what is your financial situation? You know your financial situation better than anybody else. 3, what these offerings can contribute to your life. And 4, how you like to contribute to supporting other people on their healing journey. So I want a little note for those of you who need to choose the tiers being held or taking care of me. So I want to encourage you to release any guilt and shame around picking either one of those options. If you need to be held, let us hold you. That's what these offerings are here for. And if you need to take care of yourself, please do so. Learning to take really good care of yourself is an imperative part of the healing journey. And if anything changes for you, you are welcome to change your membership tier at any time, which includes canceling. If something happens financially and you can't afford the program at all anymore, you're absolutely welcome to cancel on your own. There is no need to even reach out to me to let me know that's something you can handle on your own. If you're starting to engage with the content and you're recognizing that the value is greater than what you thought, or you have a change in financial circumstances and you can afford to support some others as well, you're welcome to bump up your tier to taking care of one another. And if you're taking care of each other and something happens where you just need to take care of yourself right now, or you need to be held, you can change that as well on your own. I recognize that these tiers still may not be accessible to everyone. And due to very real systemic injustice that impacts historically marginalized communities most, I am making several scholarship opportunities available. There are 20 scholarships available at a time for a 6-month period of time. So 15 of those scholarships are for $5 a month, and 5 of those scholarships are completely free. So if you have received a scholarship and during the 6-month period of time you are feeling overwhelmed and you can't engage with the content, if you're just not feeling the content anymore, you found another modality that's supporting you or another guide that's supporting you a little bit better, that's absolutely fine. I just ask that you let me know so I can pass the scholarship on to somebody else who will benefit from it. So there is an application underneath the scholarship offering tab. And if there are any scholarships available, that's where you'll find that application. So please keep in mind that I'm only considering applicants who indicate that they have a clear understanding of what this offering is, who are ready to engage with the content, and who provides a heartfelt response. Okay, so what's included in Dig Deeper? So everything that's in the program is accessible and available to everyone who's a member, no matter what tier you sign up for. Everyone will receive access to the following, no matter what payment option you sign up for. Live breathwork workshops. So every month there will be a live breathwork workshop that will be recorded that is based off of the month's theme. Live AMA. So live Ask Me Anythings, which really you can ask me pretty much anything. And these will be recorded as well for those who can't make it live. I'll probably be doing at least one a month. Breathwork meditations. So there are currently 12 breathwork meditations that have been pre-recorded along with themes, teachings, messages, and workbooks from 2020. You can work with these as often as you want. Okay, so once you sign up for Dig Deeper, here's the best way to work with the content, in my opinion. First, say hello. There's a say hello section where you'll find people saying hello, sharing a little bit about themselves, sharing why they're in Dig Deeper, maybe where they're from, what they're up to, what they're passionate about. Get to know the community. These are real people who are also on their own healing journey. Open up the workbooks and do a little bit of journaling about the questions that are showing up to help you dig deeper, and show up live for the breathwork workshop on the month's theme. And if you can't show up live, work with the recording. Join me for live AMAs. You can really ask me anything when I do the live recordings, and you can always submit questions if the lives don't work for your time zone or just what you have going on in your life. That's all the information for the Dig Deeper community that I have for you. I really hope to see you in the community.